So this morning I woke up and when I went on my phone, there were 2 videos in my subscription box, one from Katie is Reading and one from Cassandra Lynn, and they had both uploaded their own version of the end of year book tag, and I watched them both and they were so fun. I'll link them both down below. But I was kind of like, why don't I make my own version of this? Like, why don't I hop on the bandwagon, on the tag video bandwagon, and make my own version? Because I freaking missed 2014, 15, 16 YouTube where tags were just literally everywhere. I think I've done one other book tag this year. I did the mid-year freakout tag and it was so fun. And so I'm gonna film this one too. Why not? I'll leave all the questions linked in the description box, and please film this if you want to. I tag all of you, and if you do film it, send me a link, DM it to me on Instagram. I would love to watch it and see what's on your end of year TBR. But let's just jump into it. A bit of a fun bonus video for the week, just talking about books that I'm excited about reading. Starting off with question number 1. Are there any books you need to finish by the end of the year? As far as I'm aware, there's only really one book that I've started and not finished, and that I actually want to finish, and it is The Long Way Home, Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. So this is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and these books have become probably some of my favorite books that I've ever read in my life. I know that's dramatic, but I freaking love them so much. And the only reason I haven't finished this yet is because I'm kind of sad to finish it. You can barely see it, but I've started tabbing it. I'm fully annotating it. So even when I do read it, I read like 10 pages at a time because it takes me like half an hour to read 10 pages because I'm just trying to intricately highlight, underline, tab everything. It's just like a whole process. But I love every second of it and I don't want it to end, and so that's kind of why I've been putting it off. However, I know that there is a new Daisy Hates book coming sometime soon. They've started doing teasers on the Instagram, but I'm not exactly sure when it's coming. But I think now that I know it's coming somewhat soon, I feel like I can finish this and not be sad about it. But yeah, I just love this universe. I love these characters so much, but I definitely do need to finish this book. The second question I'm going to tweak a little bit, but it says, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And obviously this tag was written by someone in the Northern Hemisphere, and of course I'm in Australia, the Southern Hemisphere, so we are currently in spring going into summer. So I'm going to pick a book that kind of reflects spring, summer more than autumn, winter, because that obviously doesn't make sense for me personally. But one book that I've been saving to read until it gets warmer and it feels like summer is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. This one. First of all, this book is so beautiful and I can't believe that I haven't read it yet. But earlier in the year, I read The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy and I loved it, but it gave such summery vibes that it made me sad that I didn't read it in summer. Like, it just felt kind of wrong. And this book, I have such high expectations for. I feel like I'm gonna really love it, and I just didn't want to have that experience where I read it and it made me sad because it wasn't summer. I don't know if that all makes sense, but there are just some books that need a certain environment or a certain type of weather to get the maximum enjoyment out of it, and I just wanted to make sure that I gave this book the best chance possible because I feel like it could be a really great reading experience. So I think I could probably read this anytime from now. It is like 30 degrees today, I swear. I actually don't know how warm it is today. Okay, 32 degrees today. So I definitely could read this now. So that will probably be on my December TBR if I had to guess. Question number 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? So most of the new releases from 2022 have definitely already been released by now. We are in mid-November, so that makes sense. But there are 2 books that I kind of have on my list that I'm really excited for. The first is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which I think comes out November 30th, if I'm correct. And I'm really excited about it. I have it pre-ordered. The Do-Over will be Lynn Painter's newest YA romance or rom-com, and she is also the author of Better Than the Movies, which I read earlier this year and loved. And she's also the author of Mr. Wrong Number, which was an adult rom-com that she wrote, and I didn't love that one quite as much. Didn't hate it, just didn't love it quite as much as I was hoping. So I'm thinking that her YA rom-com specifically might be a bit more of a favorite of mine personally, at least just like from her. And so obviously when I heard that there was a new YA rom-com coming from her later this year, I pre-ordered it, obviously. And the other one that I have on my list is Maureen Johnson's newest book. I think it's called 9 Liars. I honestly don't know anything more about it, but I love Maureen Johnson. I love the Truly Devious trilogy, and I honestly cannot wait to read it. I think it comes out pretty much right at the end of the year. I think it's like the 27th of December. And again, I really love her writing. It just looks like a fun time, and so I'm really excited about it. If I'm missing any new releases that are coming out this year, please let me know because I obviously don't want to miss out, but I definitely feel like I could be missing a really exciting new release. release. I'm not sure. Question number 4 is, what are 3 books you still want to read by the end of the year? At the start of this year, I decided that I really wanted to complete certain authors' backlists. So just kind of read all of the books that certain authors have ever written. And one of the authors that I chose was Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really love TJR's books. I think she just tells stories so beautifully, and I get so attached to like all the characters that she writes. If you don't know, she is also the author of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, Carrie Soto is Back, One True Loves, a bunch of different books. And the only book that I am yet to read is Forever Interrupted. I have no reason as to why I haven't read this yet. Literally not one reason, apart from I just haven't felt like picking it up. I honestly don't even know what this is about, but I really am determined to read it by the end of the year because I feel like it would just be such a satisfying feeling knowing that I have completed TJR's backlist. Kind of similarly, I really wanted to complete Colleen Hoover's backlist. I'm not as passionate about finishing her backlist anymore. There's honestly not that many books left on her backlist for me to complete, but there are a few. But 2 books that I own from her and haven't read yet are Maybe Someday and Maybe Not. And these books are also on my list of 22 books that I want to read in 2022. And I feel like that's another reason for me to finish these. But I just hate that I look at my shelf, I look at all my Colleen Hoover books, and these are the only 2 on that shelf that I haven't read from her. It's just unsatisfying to me. So I really do want to finish them. I just have heard not as good of things about these 2, so I'm just not that excited about it. I've been putting it off. But I know that Colleen Hoover's writing is so easy to read, so I know that I can probably fly through these. So I do want to finish these, hopefully, by the end of the year. And I know that's technically 2 books, but I'm kind of using it as one. And the last one that I'm really determined to finish by the end of this year is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. Why did I just make up a random name? You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I feel like I heard a lot about this like months ago and then kind of nothing about it, and then it kind of has just popped up again recently and everyone's been talking about it again, and people seem to just absolutely adore this book, and it's just been sitting on my shelf for months and I haven't picked it up. Don't know why. It's actually on my TBR for November, so I am planning to read it in November, but I'm just really excited about it. I really hope I love it. I think I might. Like, I really do think I will like this, but I don't know. We'll just see. It sounds like a lot of fun. The next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become a favorite book of the year? I picked out a few books from my bookshelf that I think I will absolutely adore, and obviously I could be wrong, but just based on what they're about and what I've heard, these are books that I think I will adore. So the first one is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. This is also on my November TBR, so hopefully I will get to it this month. I'm actually like 50-50 on this one. I think I could love it, but I also feel like I might not like it at all. The reason why I think I might love it is I'm pretty sure it's set at a school. I honestly don't really know that much about what this is about. I know that a lot of people love it though, but I love books set at schools, and even just that whole prestigious, preppy, rich kid vibe. I just froth it. I don't know why. I just know I love it, and I'm hoping it will just give kind of those Gossip Girl vibes that I just seem to absolutely love. So we'll see about this one. And the next 2 I've heard very similar things about. It seems like if you like one, you'll love the other, and they just sound like books I'll really enjoy. I think they're quite deep and emotional romances, which I tend to really love. One Day kind of gives me November 9th vibes in terms of concept. So 2 people meet on the night of their graduation. Tomorrow they must go their separate ways. So where will they be on this one day next year and the year after that and every year that follows? So I don't really quite know if they like meet up every year or what the situation is, but it seems like you get to read about characters or a love story that spans over like decades, and I love books like that. I think it might make me cry. We'll see. And then The Light We Lost is again about 2 people who meet one day like strangers, but it says over the next 13 years they are torn apart, then brought back together time and time again. It's a journey of dreams, of desires, of jealousy, of forgiveness, and above all, love. These books are kind of giving similar vibes, and I think I could potentially love them both, so I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully I'll read them by the end of this year. I feel like I've already listed so many books, and I kind of feel like I could be overestimating my ability to read this many books, but we'll see. The next question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? And yes, I definitely have. Of course I have. I'm such a planner. I love making lists, making plans, and so there are definitely books and like series, mostly series, that I've kind of said to myself, Rachel, we do not have enough time to start this series this year, and I kind of like the idea of finishing the series that I've already started this this year and then kind of starting fresh next year with a whole bunch of new series. So a few that I already have plans for is, first of all, Crescent City. I'm so excited to start Crescent City. This year I have read the ACOTAR series and the Throne of Glass series, and so of course I want to continue reading Sarah J Maas and read the Crescent City books that are out so far. And then another series that I've been really wanting to start, but I wanted to wait till I finished Throne of Glass because I didn't want to have two really long series that I was reading at the same time, and that is the Mortal Instruments. I have heard like not great things about this, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm just really intrigued. I thrifted all of the books in the Mortal Instruments series, so I'm gonna check them out. I didn't read them when I was younger. I know a lot of people did, but I really want to read them. And then after that series, I really want to pick up the Infernal Devices, because this trilogy I have heard so many good things about. I hope this is the first one, Clockwork Angel. I don't actually know. Again, I thrifted all of these. And I've also never read Cassandra Clare before, and a lot of people seem to love her, so I'd love to read both the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, and then hopefully even continue my Cassandra Clare reads after that point, but we will wait and see. But I think those are the main ones that I have planned for 2023. And then that's the official end of the tag, but I've added a couple of my own questions on here, which if you want to film this tag, obviously you don't have to include these if you don't want to, but I just think they're fun questions to answer. The first one is, are there any series that you want to finish this year? And I have two. So both of these are series that I've started this year but just haven't finished quite yet. The first one is the Poppy War trilogy. I know that I'm going to finish this series at some point. I just don't know if it'll be this year. Like I said, it's a trilogy. So I've read the first two books, but I still have to read the last book. But this series is just kind of heavy. I just don't know if I'm ready to pick up the third book, because the second book I just kind of felt fatigued afterwards. It was just a lot. So I will read this at some point and finish off this trilogy, but I just don't know if it actually will be this year or not. We'll see. And the other series that I really do want to finish this year, and I'm determined to finish this year, this year, is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. I think there are 10 books total, and I've read the first 8, but I still have to read Long Way Down, which I have started, but really just barely. I've read like maybe 30 pages of it, and then also Some Kind of Perfect. And even just looking at Long Way Down, which is the one I'm currently on, this is 600 pages and the text is kind of small, so it's going to take me a while to get through. And then Some Kind of Perfect I think is even longer, 660 pages. So again, I really do want to finish these this year, but I just know it's going to take me a hot second to finish them. And then the last question that I have is, are there any authors that you want to try this year? And there's one author that kind of sticks out to me that I really want to try this year, and that is Lauren Asher. I have both the fine print and Terms and Conditions. I've heard that Terms and Conditions is actually a lot better than the fine print. I don't know what I'm going to feel, but I do really want to try her writing and read the 2 books that I have this year, or even early next year, because I know the 3rd book in this series comes out in January. So hopefully I'll enjoy them, and then I can pick up the 3rd book, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just really unsure if I'm going to enjoy her writing or not. I have tried reading Throttled, but I ended up doing a bit of a soft DNF because I didn't actually hate it. I was just kind of bored. But those are all the books that I have to talk about today and all the questions that I have to answer today. Like I mentioned, I'll leave all the questions linked down below if you guys want to film this and do your own version of this tag. And I'll also link Katie and Cass's videos down below if you want to check out another version of this tag, of course. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.